Hello class, this is number 16 from the homework, and I'd like to share with you how we can prove this or answer this question. As you can see on the given, angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent right here, and angle 3 and angle 4 are also congruent on the bottom right here, and also angle 5 and angle 6 are congruent all the way at the bottom. And what we need to prove is the line segment BC and line segment ED are congruent. Now, just like the class, what we're going to be doing is using the red. We'd like to mark whatever is given and then see what we can do. First, angle 1 and angle 2 is congruent, as you can see right over here. Now, and angle 3 and angle 4 are congruent right here, and also angle 5 and 6. They're also congruent. Now, and the question is this. Knowing what we know about these angles, what are the first two triangles which we can prove to be congruent? Okay, let's see. It will be triangle B A G right here. That can be congruent to this triangle A E AEF. Now, once again, in order for us to prove those two triangles are congruent, we need three conditions. Now, as you can see, we have the first condition already done, angle 1 and angle 2. We need to find out the second and third condition. How are we going to do that? Oh, let's see. Oh, as the given mentions, angle 3 and 4, angle 3 and angle 4 are congruent, which allows us to find out triangle AGF as an isosceles triangle. Now, that allows us to have line segment AG be congruent to line segment AF. Now, second thing is this. So that's our second condition. How about third condition? So far we have a pair of angles and pair of sides. What can be our third pair? Oh, wait a minute. As you can see from angle 3 and angle 4, angle 7 and angle 8 are supplementary of congruent angles. So in fact, that angle right here, this angle number 7 and angle 8, they are congruent to each other. Then, as we can see from this triangle ABG and this triangle AEF, they are congruent to each other by angle AS side A postulate. Now, those are the pieces of information which you can get from given. At this time, why don't we try to look into what we need to prove right over here. Now, line segment BC has to be congruent to line segment ED. Then which triangle do you think we can put them to be congruent? In fact, there are a few ways of doing it. But one of the ways which I like to do would be putting the triangle ABC right over here. If we can prove that this triangle is congruent to AED, then we should be able to answer our question. Now, then how are we going to do that? With the, how are we going to prove those two green triangles will be congruent? Okay, let us try to make the connection with the blue marker. Since the red triangles A, B, AG and AEF are congruent, we can say line segment AB must be congruent to AE. Once again, through CP, CTC. Now, second condition would have been, wait a minute, angle 1 was already congruent to angle 2 from the given. You see right here? Now, that would have been the second condition. How about the third condition? We cannot forget angle 5 and 6. Because angle 5 and 6 are congruent, we realize the triangle ACD must be an isosceles triangle, just like the small triangle way on top. Opposite, the congruent angles must be also congruent, right over here. Right over here. And between these two green triangles, we can say that they are congruent by S, A, and S. Let us try to write up the proofs now then. As we mentioned before, angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent due to given. And angle 3 and 4 and angle 5 and 6 were all congruent by the same reasoning. Now, then as we mentioned before, next one would have been this one. Triangle AGF is an isosceles triangle. You see the small red triangle right over here? AGF. Why? Because of the angle 3 and 4. Now, how are we going to write it? When two base angles are congruent in a triangle, the triangle is isosceles. Now let us move on. Because it's an isosceles triangle, we get to realize that, in fact, I'm sorry, this is a line segment AG must be congruent to AF. Those are these two line segments. AG is congruent to AF. Now, why? The famous CP, CT, C. Now, next, we realize that angle 7 and angle 8 are also congruent. There was the third condition to prove that these two red triangles are congruent. What's the reasoning? Let's see. We mentioned that angle 3 and angle 4 are congruent, which basically allows us to say supplementary angles of congruent angles are congruent. How about that? Now, that's why we can say triangle ABG, which means this first red triangle from the left, and then triangle AEF, they're congruent. Once again, you must ASA postulate. Now, right after we prove that, we also show that AB must be congruent to AE. Right here, you see the blue one? AB must be congruent to AE. Why? Once again, the famous CP, CP, C. Soon after that, in order for us to prove these two green triangles are congruent, let's say we just talked about the line segment AB and AE. Next one was recognizing that the triangle in the middle, ACD, was an isosceles triangle. And the reasoning would be same as right here. So in fact, I'm going to borrow this reasoning right here. Alright, now, next. Because this triangle is an isosceles triangle, then we get to realize about the line segment AC and AD. It must be congruent. AC and AD. Now, the reasoning would be same as before. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. We made a silly mistake here. This was in CPCTC, but it's two sides opposite congruent angles in an isosceles triangle is R congruent. Sorry about that. Now I'm gonna reuse that. Way on the bottom right here. Now, after we're proving that, then we can say triangle ABC must be congruent to triangle AED. ABC, AED. Oh, you might wonder, hey, we only proved two conditions right here. But in fact, do you remember angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent from the given? Now, that's why these two triangles must be congruent by FAS. Then now we are almost near the end. And because these two triangles are congruent, as we planned, these two line segments are congruent also. Only the world famous CP, C, C. And that's it. Good night.